Hi, GWR Locomotive here. As you can probably tell by the title of the video, I've actually got a new train. Locomotive, so I'm going to give you a little rundown of what she's all about, maybe take her apart, have a look inside her, and all that kind of stuff. Very excited, first of all, because this is the first Bachmann, or Bachmann, however you just say it, Bachmann locomotive I've bought. Here you go, look, here's the box. Here, if you can see it, there's just a kind of box, really. Stuff on the end there, Collett goods, 2294, blah 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 blah. That's all fairly straightforward and fairly self-explanatory. It's called a Collett goods. These are also known as kind of the 22s, because their number, if you see on here, this is 2294, but they were always 22 something something, and they were brought in to replace the Dean goods in the, I don't know, 30s, something like that. 1930 it was introduced. Because in the Bachmann or Bachmann boxes you get these lovely information cards, blah 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 blah. You don't really need to know about the box. The box is just there to hold it, really. But yeah, there's quite a nice lot of splat of information there for you. Guarantee. There's my taking apart sheet instructions, which I will be coming to a little bit later on. I'm not going to go into detail on these, but I will be having a look inside the engine in here to see what the process is for fitting DC chips and such like, because that's what I'm going to do. Also in the box you get some brake rods there which go underneath. I've fitted the ones on the tender, you can see them underneath there, and also there's some vacuum pipes there if you want to put braking on your coaches and whatnot. Cool, so over to the engine herself. Let's start with this bit here. So very excited when it was through the post. Bought it online from a popular auction website. I'm sure you'll know what that is. But I mean, just to look at for a start, she's a very good looking engine. Lots and lots of details. Are really nice. As hopefully you can see, there's handrail going down the side and up and over the front. Actually looks really lovely. Let's just focus in a bit there. There we go. So yeah, the detail on her actual body is quite high. I mean, for the price that I paid for her, I'm actually really happy with that level of detail. All around the cab here you can see lots and lots of I'm just focusing for you, there you go, lots of rivets and stuff like that. It would have been nice to have had some extra number plates, but again, that's something that I can add at fairly low cost. Inside the cab there's a good level of detail, not too bad, it's not picked out, nothing that I'd pot of paint and a fine paintbrush that I can't fix really. And again, much of a muchness on the other side. Really nice detail with the rivets all across here. Again, this rail, copper chimneys, blah 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 blah. Okay, let's have a look at the bottom here. We've got 060 configuration, which means there's not a little bogie here with wheels on it. It's got 0 and then 6. And then 0 at the back. There's no pony wheels at the back there, which you find on the main kind of express locomotives. In fact, almost no GWR locomotives have many wheels at the back here. The exceptions I can think of off the top of my head are the loco called the Big Bear, which was just a one-off, which was a very short-lived experiment. And the other one I can think of is just the little shunting locomotive 042 ones. But yeah, I mean, there's nothing at the back, but essentially it's really very much like a tank engine, shunting tank engine you'd find around the line. Something like, I don't know, this one here, something like that kind of pannier configuration. Then you can see her motor there. She's got 060 as well. So essentially, what this is a tank engine used for running light freight and light goods and stuff. But she's got a tender. It says on the box it's a county tender, which is just a particular county is the type of GWR loco. But it just means that she had a bit longer range. She could pull a little bit further than, say, a pannier tank or something like that. So she could go across country without having to stop quite as often for water and stuff like that. Which is called a Collett goods, although generally they pulled, well, mixed traffic really, whatever was needed. Mainly you saw them pulling plank wagons and vent vans and all that kind of stuff, but this it wasn't unusual to see them with passenger carriages as well. So all in all, very happy. Again, look at you can see the smoke box detail here. If I get time and inclination, I'll be honest with you, I've got many more things to do first. I might put a proper kind of little cast smoke box handle on there. Might fit the brake pipes, put some lamps on there. What is nice is they are sprung buffers. I can see on the side there, sprung buffers. Okay, which is quite nice. And the detailing underneath, you know, we've got the sandboxes and all the stuff here, and yeah, it's just all very, very nicely made, and it feels like a really good quality engine. So that's that. That's that there. Let's have a quick look at the tender. As it said on the box, we've got the GWR shirt button logo, which is like the one, which is like my logo, essentially like a little circle, rather than kind of GWR in big letters or Great Western written across. And again, the same level of detail is attended to here. As I said, I put the brake rods on underneath so you can see those. But this has got some weight to it. The wheels are nice cast wheels. Again, we've got sprung buffers, nice handrails at the back here, which could be picked out with a bit of paint if I can find a nice picture with some colour on it. Obviously, I've got the one on the box as well. And again, just a nice level of detail. So we've got on the front here. Now this has got no pickups in it. I can't see any copper wiring between the wheels and the chassis. But also, giveaway is that at the back of the engine, you can see it's just a plastic hook, and that just receives the tender like that. So it doesn't actually hook on with any kind of a grip or anything like that. It's just put it on so that it will pull it along just with a plastic hook, which is a bit disappointing. It looks a bit rubbish. I'd quite like that to be a bit closer, because it doesn't really have to negotiate particularly tight turns. I've got nothing shorter than a second radius, I think, and that's just on the inner loop. So all in all, I'm very happy with her as an engine. I think she looks absolutely beautiful. I've had a run around the layout with her, and I'll do it again for you in a little while. And she does run really, really quite nicely. We've got the small. I've completely forgot to say. We've got the small little tension locks here. I think that's an M there, so you can take that out, put whatever you like in. That's cool. So there she is. In case you were wondering where that pannier came from, I've got my Loco graveyard over here. It's not so much a graveyard as a hospital, I like to think, and they're ongoing projects. I will be starting a blog soon, from somebody's advice, about possibly the restoration of those. So now what I'm going to do is actually going to take her apart and have a look at the inside the motor. More importantly, I want to see how easy she's going to be to DCC fit for my DCC layout. If I look underneath here, I don't know if you can see, there are actually 3 screws. 1, 2, 3. Now, as far as I'm aware, it's just these 2 here I need to unscrew for the whole thing to come out. I'm going to take the middle one out just as well, just to make sure. Let's have a look inside her. Screws removed just here. The top quite easily just lifts off the chassis, just like so. And you'll see the chassis doesn't comprise really of a terribly large amount. You've got to be very careful here, because the wheels are mounted quite. Well, if they was to fall off, it would be very difficult to put them back on, let's put it like that. So it doesn't look like there's an awful lot going on inside. There's the motor, fairly straightforward. You've got the wires, here we go, the wires going in to either side, yeah, and you can see them going down onto the wheels and the pickups. Great, so surely I can put a chip in that and put it in the top here. Sorry, that's off the screen slightly there, let's turn you around. So, this is still quite heavy. I can feel that this, and if you look underneath here you can see there's a big green block here which I'm assuming is a weight. Now I've just extracted a 4th screw from that little hole there, there's a little 4th screw, and you can see there's this green, so if I just have a look, yeah, there we go, look, the whole thing just lifts out. That is a solid block of weight. Wow, okay, so that's where the weight comes from. Without that, this is very, very light, very flimsy. As you can see, this motor here actually fits up inside the firebox here, so when that weight's back in, there's actually no room there for a DCC chip whatsoever. So what I'm probably going to have to do, and I might have to buy a new chip for this, unfortunately, because it's rather small amount of space I've got to work with, I might have to actually reduce the size of this weight somehow. I might cut out the side here, something like that, using a saw or maybe some kind of files. I've got a variety of different things I could use, but I don't want to be too obvious. So I might have to run some wires down the side as well, because if you notice on the actual, you know, on this bit here, you can see straight through. You can see my finger on the other side there. You can actually see that you know, if there was a chip there and the wires and stuff, that would look very unsightly. I wouldn't really be very happy with that at all. So this is going to take a little bit more work in the conversion than I initially thought. On the surface, a very beautiful engine, and I really am chuffed to bits with her. But it's going to be a bit of an issue getting DCC chips into her. Regardless, I'm put her back together now, and I will run her around my layout so you can see her on her own, and possibly put in some stock as well. Yeah, so there you go. Thanks for watching. Any comments, please do let me know, either on here, or you can go and follow my Twitter at GWRLocoNuts. I'm quite happy to respond to people on there. And yeah, so there we go. Okay.